Yeah, we are live right now. We are live right now.
Great.
Okay. Let's wait for them to join. So I feel probably just need to know where they are joining us from. So
Okay, that's
we
fine.
know which country. Because I have some audience outside Nigeria. I have audience in Ghana, South Africa, Zimbabwe. Everybody wants to jackpot. That's the they want to leave.
I mean, I always put it more like people are looking for better opportunities, because I think that Japan term has become um,
It's
it's
now
it's it kind of underscores the other genuine intention behind why people want to migrate, you know. Um,
in every it's not the first time because of like Nigeria alone. Jackpot has been something that, or will I call it migration, has been something that has been happening in the world. People
yeah,
tend to move to another place to find a better opportunity. So it has been existing right from the days of our forefathers.
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Okay, if you're just joining us, we have some few people who has just joined. It's just 2 minutes into the live. I would want you to comment and please tell us where you're watching us from before we start the this show proper. Where you're watching us from, please just let us know on the comments section. Yeah, do us a favor to tell us where you're watching us from. We just have let's say 5 minutes and let's know where you're watching us from. It's going to be very insightful. You'd want to learn more about Germany and how you can get admission, do it yourself. A whole lot, like it's a whole lot. So please tell us where you're watching us from. I can see we have numbers. It's going to come up. Where are you watching us from? Please press comment, please comment.
The comments are not visible here, right?
I
Yes.
can see them once they comment. Once they
Okay.
comment. Okay. Watching from Ghana, Stephen. Yes, we can see you from Ghana. Yeah, you're welcome to today's show. I promise the guest I'm having today, it's gonna be a big one. Yeah, it's gonna be very insightful, and I encourage you to stay tuned. Yeah, you're welcome, Stephen. We're going to be starting in 3 minutes' time. Someone watching from Thailand, okay. We're going to be starting very soon. Okay, someone watching from Thailand. Do you want to leave Thailand to Germany? I've always wanted to apply to German schools. Ooh,
That's
German
great.
schools.
That's great.
I hope this helps out. Of course, it's going to help out, most definitely. Yeah, I don't know how much research you've done, but most definitely this is going to help add to what you've known, and hopefully you find yourself in Germany, or would I say the capital city. What's German known for? Like, what are they known for? What's the best? Like, what are they known? Like, Finland is known for drinking. What's Germany known for?
Well, Germany is known for bureaucracy, long
Dwarf
bureaucracy.
bureaucracy. We have Timothy watching from Nigeria. Okay, we are going to be starting soon. So you're welcome, everyone. I believe this video is going to be recorded, so we are not going to be waiting for as much people that wants to join. So we'll keep going so that whichever time they play the video, it's going to be very insightful for them straight up. So hello, everyone, and welcome to today's live stream. I am Samson Pius, as you all know. I am that person that talk about opportunities. Yes, people say opportunity come but once, but in my channel, opportunity does not come but once. It's a lot, so you just need to keep watching. So subscribe if you've not subscribed. So I'm thrilled to have you join us today. Today we have a very special guest who is here to share some incredible insights about studying in Germany. Our guest has spent 10 years in Germany and is an expert in helping people secure admission to top universities. He has also connected people to job opportunities in Germany and Europe as well. With his extensive experience for over 5 years, he has helped a huge number of people, guiding them to gain admission into Germany. So let's welcome Mr. Michael as he walk us through the process involved in applying to universities in Germany and the advantages of studying in Germany and how to make the most of this opportunity. For today, we would only focus on Germany. Some other time, we would be here talking about other, probably finding the job and how you can get other opportunities. But for today, we are going to be focusing on studying in Germany.
Mhm.
He will also share some success stories and most definitely answer your question that you have been hoping to ask. So feel free to ask questions about anything concerning studying in Germany in this live stream, as Michael would be answering all these questions, and people that are interested most definitely is going to be very insightful. Without further ado, let's dive into the discussion. First of all, Michael, introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Samson, for having me here. It was really nice when we talked some weeks back, and here we are in the live session. And also, thanks to everyone who is watching either right now or you're going to watch it later. I'm very happy to be here. So, my name is Michael, or you can just call me Mike, as most people do. I moved to Germany back in 2014 for my master's studies. And then during the studies and after the studies, I learned the language, I started working. And
You
then in the
speak German?
process, yeah, of course.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, so I've been working since 2018. And then in the process, I also co founded my own company as well. And everything I do is all around um, make that migration is it's a good experience for everyone. So like Samson mentioned, I also believe that opportunity does not come but once. You have multiple opportunities in your life. Every other day you see them. Of course, you don't have to chase all of them, but the goal here for us is to tell you about these opportunities, how you can tap into them, and very importantly, do it yourself. I like that Samson mentioned to do it yourself because I think that's the way everyone really gets empowered. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Thank you very much. That's a whole lot. Like I was really impressed when you said you speak German. Well, I've been in Thailand for more than a year. The only thing I know how to say is hello. Okay, nice to have you, Mr. Michael. Thank you for honoring my invitation,
No
and
problem.
I'm glad that we're going to tell these people to tell them that they can actually do it themselves. Yes,
Great.
you can
100%.
do DIY, do it yourself. So, first question, because I want this live to be quick so that my audience can ask questions that they will be
Yeah.
wanting to ask. So, why is German such a popular destination for international students, especially
Mm,
from Africa?
um, Actually, the popularity of Germany started recently. When I came to Germany at first back in 2014, you could count the number of African international students that you see on campus. At least back then where I studied, I don't think we're up to 10 of us there, you know. Um, so the popularity actually just grew more or less recently. Before
Hmm.
now, when you talk about destinations where people go to study, most English speaking destinations come to mind for us because, yeah, maybe many African countries that speak English and stuff like that. But what has made Germany more attractive recently is first and foremost the awareness that you can study in Germany 100% tuition free. That is
Free of
very
charge.
attractive. Yes, 100% free of charge. Uh, People pay semester contributions, which ranges between 120 to 350 euros every 6 months, depending on which uni you study.
Hmm.
However, this semester ticket actually it includes your transport ticket within that state or that city, as the case might be. So, in a nutshell, it's actually
Wow.
100% free of charge. Um, so, of course, some states are beginning to like change the regulation gradually, requesting tuition from international students. But then, even at that, the tuition that they request is still really, really low, like compared
Hmm.
to other destinations. And the number of unis are also very, in my opinion, insignificant, not a lot compared to the options that you have. So there's that part to study tuition free. But then on top of that, also it's the ample opportunities that are available for international students in Germany. And I mean, when you're here as a student, the residence that you have actually entitles you to a lot of things, a lot of benefits. You don't just get that long-term residence, but then it comes with many other benefits which you can enjoy as a student. And then coupled with the extended stay which you get after your studies, 18 months to search for a job, search for a job, get a job, and then also the transition to becoming a permanent resident and then to become a
Easy.
citizen is a lot easier. Even right now, it's getting much better. The barriers are even being reduced.
Hmm.
Um, so you can imagine that's first tuition free, and then second opportunities which you have as a student, the residency, the integration. Um, but then to even top it up, when you are in Germany, you are within the Schengen zone. Then you have access to all the other 22 to 27, EU states. So you're not just in one country. You are in Europe, so you can explore different locations. Um, and then in Europe, Germany is the only country that offers this tuition-free education. So it makes it more attractive for people to come and they want to explore that place. And frankly speaking, the list goes on and on and on and on. But these are more or less like the highlights, which is attracting people the most. And of course, you can study 100% in English language, whether bachelor's or master's. So why not come to Germany?
Wow. 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 This is a lot of people don't know about this information
I know,
because
true story.
most of
Yeah.
them, when they just hear Germany, it's more like they don't speak English, and because of this, why should I study there? And
Mhm.
with all these things you've said, you made mention of the transitioning, getting a permanent resident. It's now becoming a bit easier.
Yeah.
Getting a job after studying, the transitioning is becoming more smoother.
Yes.
And Schengen, once you have a visa for uh, for for Germany, you can go to other 20 something Schengen countries without
100%.
a visa.
Yes.
So, and they speak English. Most of their a lot of universities use English as their language, right?
That's
So
correct.
if you're not thinking about moving to Germany, I don't know what you want to achieve. If you have the money, you can go to where you want to go and pay tuition fee. It's fine. But for people who have less, who money is their major consideration, then Germany is actually a good one. You made
Correct.
mention of very soon some schools have started collecting tuition fee, stuff like that, and tuition fee. Let me talk to my audience. Some schools now are collecting tuition fee, and before it was 100% in all schools. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In Finland, it was 100% free too at some point. Then all of a sudden, they started collecting tuition fee.
Yeah.
Now it's free. Let's take this opportunity, guys. Let's take this opportunity and start looking at Germany. Germany is free, and probably very soon, we don't know what the future holds.
hmm
Let's go to the second question. Can you explain why studying in Germany is free and how that benefits students financially?
Um,
It's
so,
free.
Germany operates a social system, so to speak, in the sense that um, the government tries to cater to the well-being of everybody, tries to keep a balance between the rich and the poor, maintain the gap, and all this stuff. Um, and then what's really important is the fact that so Germany opened their borders so that international students can come study for free in the hope that they are going to get integrated into the workforce. When you're integrated into the workforce, you work, you pay tax, you contribute back into the system. So
Okay.
these contributions that you make is what's funding, the tuition-free education, and of course every other thing within the social system, including the health insurance and all. So um, majority of the people who come study in Germany, they end up staying back in Germany. And this has been a major source of the labor force in Germany. This has been also the way to keep recruiting international skills, foreign workers. I mean, there's still direct recruitment of professionals externally, but most of the international students, they end up finding a job and then having themselves established in Germany. Also, as you may know, Germany also has an aging population. So they need young people to come into the country, understand the system, and then contribute also to the system. So this is like the major reason for making a tuition-free education even for foreigners. And now, on the other hand, for the students, what benefits are those for you? One, you don't pay any tuition when you're studying, and then your student visa comes also with a work permit, so which entitles you to work while you're studying. So you can actually work, you can actually study and then work and earn some money, save some money for yourself. What's even more interesting is on top of the tuition-free education, you also, as an international student, you're eligible for hundreds of scholarships which you can actually apply for and get stipends during the course of your studies. For most students, it's not very attractive because yes, they are studying already tuition free, they have a side job, so they don't really feel the need to even chase a scholarship offer. But again, you also have that opportunity if you want to. There are hundreds of scholarship organizations that a lot of international students qualify for, and you can apply for that and also get some stipends. And it would not matter if you have some jobs on the side which you're getting paid for or not. So you can still see these additional benefits that an international student can take. Um, then what else again? Uh, I think that answers your question, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So well, like this is super, super, super cool. So let's go to the main thing of the day. A lot of people are really waiting for these questions. So, what are the key steps in securing admission in Germany? So we
Okay,
can,
so the
okay,
the first thing is what's the qualification you're aiming for? Let's start with bachelor's degree and then we go to master's degree. So let's say you want to study for your bachelor's degree in Germany. Now, the first step would be what is the current qualification that you have? And this is usually determined based on the country that you come from. I use two countries as example. If you're from Nigeria or if you're from Cameroon. Now, in Nigeria, I think they spend up to 12 years in primary, secondary school, and then you come out with an O-level qualification, your secondary school certificates education, so SSCE, which is O level. But if you are from Cameroon, you come out from secondary school with an A level. and then you spend 3 years at the bachelor's level in the uni. Whereas in Nigeria and most countries that have similar educational system like the British, you spend 4 years at the university for your bachelor's degree. So what this translates to is if you're coming to Germany, Cameroon has a similar educational system as Germany. So which means you need your university entrance qualification has to be an A level qualification. What this translates to is for Nigerians who wants to come study in Germany that are just coming out directly from secondary school, they cannot study at the bachelor's level directly. They need a preparatory study program, so which is called student colleague. It lasts between 12 to 18 months, depending on where you do it. So this preparatory study program is to help you fill in that gap, what was missing, and then you qualify to then study in Germany. If you're coming from Cameroon or other countries that have a similar educational system like Cameroon, so countries like Tanzania, for example, then you don't need this. So because you already have an A level qualification, so you can study directly for your bachelor's degree. So, cut a long story short, the first step is to have the right university entrance qualification. If you're going for a master's degree, it would not matter because the qualification is then a bachelor's degree. But now that bachelor's degree has to correspond to what you want to study at the master's level. It cannot be too different. So they have to be related. And you will also see this when you check the course requirements. So to answer your question, the first thing is having the right university entrance qualification. And this depends on your country and then the system of education there. The next thing would be, do you want to study in German or in English language? This is something that the candidate has to answer for themselves. Most people would want to study in English language. So what that translates to is, the course you want to study, is it available in English language or not? Most master's study program, you find them in English language, but for the bachelor's level, they're a bit less compared to master's level. So one has to check this if what you want to study is available in English language. If it is, great. Most universities, it is sufficient that you provide a certificate from either your secondary school or your uni, as the case might be, that your previous education was done in English language. When you have this, this will suffice for the test of your English language proficiency. However, some other universities they insist that you provide, this test, maybe TOEFL or
I
IELTS or whatever. So again, it comes down to what that uni or that course is requesting. But what I can tell people for sure is if you want to study in English language at the bachelor's or master's, it is 100% possible to do it without taking any of these English test language certificates. You just have to apply to more unis or look for those unis that do not require it. Um, then I think once you've settled these important requirements, the next thing is when do you want to resume? Uh, Most studies here they start during the winter semesters, which begins in October. However, there are some that they have which begin in the summer semester, so March, April the next year. So you have to decide when do you plan to begin your studies. And then, very importantly, is before you start this process, you have to think about the student visa requirements because it wouldn't make sense if you get the admission and then you don't meet the student visa requirements and don't get your student visa because then everything is useless. So, the first step is again the right university entrance qualification. What language do you want to study in, English or German? And then also thinking about the student visa requirements from your country. Um, Other things are pretty much varied, depending on the uni, motivational letter, CV, and so on and so forth. But these are like the top three things to first pay attention to before you proceed.
Wow, amazing. This is very insightful. But just to be clear, and for my audience watching, I want to confirm what you just said.
Yeah,
The A level, you said for Nigerians, particularly for Nigerians, that they are not up to this, like they don't do the standard of education as German does, right?
that's
Am I
right.
right?
That's
So,
correct.
for them to be qualified to enroll in any bachelor program, in quotes, they have to write an entrance, an A level program.
No, so they don't have to. So how it works is if, let's say, if you're from Nigeria, so countries like Nigeria, India, Ghana, Kenya, that have a similar educational system as Britain, they need to take a call. So
Go
they
on.
have they come out from secondary school with an O level qualification. So now for you to study in Germany, there is a gap year which you need to complete. So you will have to do a preparatory study program in Germany. Preparatory study
Okay.
program. Yeah. So it's an 18-month program which you
Is it
take.
free?
So it's both free and paid. The free version is done in public universities, but it's done only in German. So that's free. But then the
Mm-hmm.
paid, if you want to do it in English language, it can be done in private unis, but then it's paid for. So at the end of this preparatory study program, you will take like a final exam. When you pass that exam, then you have the right qualification to proceed with your bachelor study in Germany, which will then last for 3 years.
Okay. This preparatory exam, is it going to be done online or in contact physically?
So it's done in Germany. So because you will, it's like you are enrolled in that uni. Think about it
Oh,
like remedial studies in Nigeria, for example. So you are in the uni, but you have not started your degree
course.
course. You know, you're doing a pre-program. So
Very
that's
clear
literally
now.
what it is. Yeah,
Very clear. But for countries that offer A level degree, it's like a direct entry to study the
100%.
course.
Yeah.
Country like Cameroon
So
and
Cameroon, like Tanzania, uh, I think those are the two coming to my mind now. But again, if your secondary school you come out with A level, then for sure, yeah, you get a direct entry to the uni.
okay, okay, very, very clear. I'm very sure my guest wants to ask questions, so I'm trying to rush up. Um, you talked about requirements. You talked about requirements in the third step. So can you mention the requirements in quickly so we can move on? What
Mhm.
are the requirements for the visa?
So the primary requirement for the visa is that you have sufficient proof of fund for yourself. And what this means is the German government wants to make sure that as a student coming to study here, that you have sufficient means to cater to your financial needs. And this can be proven in one of three ways, either a blocked account, a sponsorship, or a scholarship. A blocked account simply means you open a German bank account in your name and then deposit a certain amount of money. I think as of today, it's around between 900 to 1,000 euros per month. So you multiply that by 12. This money is your money as an international student. The money is going to be blocked in a German account. The blocking means you cannot access it from outside Germany. You can only
Mm,
access it once you're in Germany. And when
okay.
you're here, you don't get all of it at once. It's going to be released on a monthly basis. You know, so
Mm,
let's say it's 1,000 euros per month. Then you have to pay 12,000 euros. It is your money. Every month you get 1,000 euros paid out to you, or you can withdraw up to 1,000 euros. The essence is yes, this person has enough money to cater for their financial needs for at least the first year. So that's one option. The second option is a sponsorship letter. You can get this from someone who resides in Germany that is earning up to a certain amount of money. It's really straightforward. It doesn't cost anything. The
just a
person just,
letter.
yeah. So it's not like the person writes it, no. So it's given from the foreign office in the city where the person lives. The person has to meet certain requirements, of course. It's a declaration of commitment. So the person is declaring that I am committed to all the financial needs of this person, blah, 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 blah. And what that translates to is whatsoever happened during the course of study of that person, that letter usually lasts for up to 5 years. So within these 5 years, this person has declared to be financially responsible for you. So if
Wow.
you fall into debt, you can pay whatever they come to that person, you know. So
Wow.
that's the sponsorship letter. Then the other option is scholarship. And again, there are hundreds of scholarship opportunities, regardless of your qualification. So this is like the most important requirement when it comes to the student visa. The other requirements are basically things which you already provided during the course of your application for an admission. So your, your qualification, motivational letter, and stuff like that. And then, of course, the general questions they ask you during the student visa interview. But very importantly is that proof of fund, because other things are basically things which you already submitted when you applied for your admission.
Wow. So, if I should get it correctly, there are three ways in which someone can get one of like get the proof of fund, or would I call it sponsorship? Number
Yeah, yeah,
one,
so the proof of fund, exactly.
number one is proof of fund. Number two is a letter of sponsorship from someone living in Germany, and the
Hmm.
third is scholarship.
Yeah, so there's a
Okay.
blocked account, sponsorship letter, and then the scholarship.
Okay. We'll talk about the work around if there is how it's gonna how people can maneuver their way and find it easy later
Mhm.
as we move on. So now, tell us about the common mistake people make when applying for German admission. Few
Mm,
common mistake. Just be
mm,
straight and
mm.
let's know.
I think the first one is not paying attention to the admission requirements and see if you qualify or not. Because, for example, you apply for a master's study program. That means you have a bachelor's degree. So your bachelor's degree has to correlate with the master's degree that you're applying for. So most times people don't pay attention to this. They tell you, okay, hey, let's say you studied biochemistry at your bachelor's degree, and now you want to go for something like molecular biology or molecular medicine. Now, people have to understand that the scope of a certain study program in one country is not necessarily the same in another country. So
Hmm.
the scope of biochemistry in Germany might not necessarily be the same as the scope in Nigeria, in India, or something like this. So you have to check that. And the uni, they always write it. They tell you these are the components of this course, this and that. You have to cross check that with your transcript. Are they the same? Are they similar? Are they in the same direction? So most times, if you're able to do this, then you already take care of one important step. The next thing also is in cases where they request for a motivational letter. This is usually the case for courses that are highly competitive. So meaning they have limited number of space for admitting students. So again, most unis, they will also tell you how to write this motivational letter. They tell you it's very interesting because they tell you how you can actually write a good motivational letter, you know, but people still don't pay attention to that. So that also really matters. Your motivational letter has to cut across very different important points. But top of it would be who are you? What's your background like? What have you studied before? What what is this course going to help you achieve? And what is the future looking like for you? So some of these kind of
Few
points.
key
But
things.
again, most unis they also specify what they expect the student to write, but a lot of students do not pay attention to it. To some other level, for units that request for CV, again, the standard of writing CV in Germany is not the same as in many places. So people have to pay attention to that, how they write it. So I think these are like the top things. And then the other things are, of course, missing the deadline and just hoping that whatever would happen. So
Mhm.
uh,
Mhm. The
sometimes
miracle will
Sometimes you don't miss the deadline, but what happens is you submit it too close to the deadline, and then some documents are missing. And when the school requests you to provide those documents, you can't provide them within the deadline. It's important
deadline.
to know that everything has to come in before the deadline. So even if you submit half application and then they request you to provide additional document, if you provide that after the deadline, does not, you are
Come.
out already. So that's also another point. And then finally, this is not necessarily a point, but it's more like a tip. Apply to multiple universities. You know,
Not just
uh, yeah, not just one or two. In my case back then, I mean, you won't believe I applied to up to 7 universities. You know, 7 universities. I came out with a good grade and stuff, but I also applied to 7 universities. Most of them rejected me. Once I got the first admission, I didn't even care checking the rest anymore. You know, but applying to as many universities as possible is also another thing to do.
wow. This is very, very insightful. Yes, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Moving on. You guys have heard the mistakes people make in applying for universities. So I hope you're learning from it. So the next question here is: how do students usually balance studies and part-time job? Because they are really interested in this. They are going for study, and at the same time, they want to sustain themselves. They want to make money. So how
Mm.
do they balance it? It's there.
Yeah, for sure. So, and this is also another advantage of studying in Germany, in the sense that the study style here is very flexible. What this translates to is, if you are studying for your bachelor's degree, the standard period is 3 years, but you can actually study even up to more than 5 years for your bachelor's degree. So, what this means is, you know your pace, you know how much time, you know the number of subjects you can take per semester. So what is your student job like? How many hours do you need to work? How many hours do you need to study? So that means, if for a normal semester you're supposed to take 7 courses, you can take 3 or 4,
Hmm,
and then the next ones you move them over to the next year, you know, and
okay,
then you have a balanced way to, to work, to study, and also have a social life. And this is something I really appreciate, about Germany. There's always that work life or study work balance which you get. So the most important way is, go at a pace that you can actually carry yourself. If working is very important for you, then once you secure that student job, reduce the number of courses which you take per semester. And so you take as many as you can. You continue next year. Your study will be extended, but it's okay because, anyways, you need a lot of time to understand the system, to get integrated, to learn the language, to become familiar with things. So there's no need rushing to finish in 3 years, only just to do what? Because you didn't really take the time to integrate. Because integration is very important in Germany, really, really important. And the more time you give yourself, the better. So the best way is space out your study program. If it's for 3 years, you can take it up to 4 or even 5 years. If it's for 2 years, extend it. No problem. It's okay. You
very
know,
flexible.
give yourself time um, to work, save some money, but even more importantly, these activities which you're doing outside your studies, they are helping you to get integrated into the system, to understand the culture, to understand the language, to understand the people, and even very importantly, to know what opportunities are available for you. Because if you spend all your time just studying, yes, you come out with good grades and all that, but you won't really
No,
know about opportunities around you. But when you spend some time really socializing, integrating, getting yourself oriented, before the end of your studies, you already know what to do, where to go. And not to forget that the years which you spend, they're also counting towards, you getting a PR or citizenship, you know.
wow.
So that also counts for you too. So it's not like you're just wasting time.
Hmm. If possible, we extend it to like 5 years and take one course per year if it's possible.
Yeah, you just have to check with the uni. I know the regulation is maybe bachelor's you can do it up to 10 years, and masters up to five
Wow,
years.
10 years?
I have to check that to be sure, but it's really flexible.
This is amazing. This is so, not all countries do this.
Yeah, I mean, and then it just tells you how flexible it is here, because during this process, then you can work, you can earn money, you can even take a semester break, and say, okay, hey, I'm off this semester, this 6 months or this 12 months, I'm completely off. You state the
Wow.
reason why, and then you go, I don't know, travel, work, learn the language, and then come back and continue your studies.
This is big. This is really, really big. First of all, you're having 100% tuition free. You're not worried about school fees.
That's
You're
right.
studying for free, and at the same time, you have the flexibility to work. You can pause your studies, work, and come back and
Yeah,
resume where you
yeah.
stopped.
Yeah.
I
I
can't
mean,
say anything less.
it's quality. It's quality over quantity. It's not about the numbers, but it's about, at the end of the
It's a
day, how
result.
substantial is it? What's the value? You know.
Mr. Michael, you are a professional in getting people admission in Germany. You have, I've seen numbers of people who have gotten admission through you.
Yeah.
Can you tell us stories about people who have successfully gotten admission through
There,
you?
there are actually many of them. I can't actually keep the numbers. But broadly speaking, we have two ways. Personally, I always encourage doing it yourself. So, which means you get like the free consultation, you get all the information, and then you go and start the process, doing it yourself. When you have questions, you come back, you ask, that's how the community grows. And
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
on the other hand, they are the people who are like working class. They don't have the time to go through the
Time.
process. And these guys, they completely outsource the process, to us, and then we take care of the admission. So um, we've had people from, you know, all
Trace.
segments to study in Germany or outside of Germany. And typically, it's like, okay, hey, what's your profile? What's your qualification? Because again, we need to know what's your qualification, what your grades are like, because these are the basis of um, how we're going to advise you or help you secure the admission. So, I mean, we've got admission for people to study medicine, engineering courses, finance, whatever it is that you want to study, literally.
I think we have an engineer in the comment section.
Yeah, so and really your grade also does not matter. Of course, the lower the grade, a bit more difficult it becomes, but there are always opportunities for you. And this is what I appreciate about Germany. For them, it's not all about, okay, hey, just grades. It's who is this person and what can they really do. And
True.
that's also where your motivational letter really, really makes a difference. Because, for example, you have a second class, lower or third class degree, but then you've had some very interesting work experience at the end of your studies and all that you've done. Some fantastic projects, and also there's a way you can put all this together in your application to make an you know, um, exceptional application, so to speak. You really convince the people that yes, you know what you're doing. I also have to mention that some units will request for face-to-face interview, others will not may not require that. So again, it really depends on who you are and what is applicable to you. But we've helped people from basically all fields to secure admission, really to secure admission for them. Some it takes a bit longer, others it take a shorter time, but at the end of the day, there's always something for everybody. Really.
Open for everybody in quotes, what you just said.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
class students can get admitted to
Yes.
German university.
Even people with HND too, just so that they know as
HND.
well. Yeah, so HND, how it works is, so Germany recognizes HND to apply for a bachelor's degree and not master's. There are some selected universities in Germany that may allow it for master's degree. But yes, HND too, you can also study in Germany.
But for bachelors, why few schools for masters?
That's correct. Some schools for masters and some study programs. So this again, we have to check the specific case.
I have, I have some few numbers of people who have like, I have HND. Can I get an admission in Germany? Questions
Yes,
like that have arisen, and thank
yes.
God we are. I shared the link. I hope they are watching. Or if they are
Hmm.
not here, I hope they are going to watch it.
For sure.
Okay, this is wonderful. I want to rush up this so that these people can ask their questions. We
Hmm.
planned this for 1 hour. I hope, even if it's going to be delayed, probably 15 minutes. Can you give us a breakdown of the cost of living in Germany for a
Mm,
student?
mm.
What should
So
people budget for their housing and day-to-day expenses?
Yeah, I mean, right now the government sets the amount at almost 1,000 euros per month. Um, Again, I think this is also related to the recent global inflation, or some people call it recession, which is,
Mm,
coming in. However, what you spend at the end of the day really depends on your lifestyle and where you live, the place you're located. Um, but I genuinely believe that, um, I mean, something around 800 euros or so per month would nicely cover all your expenses. If you live moderately. So the most things that what cost the most are, one, accommodation, so how much you pay for your rent. Depending on where you are as a student, you could pay between 250 euros to probably up to 500 or even more. If you stay in a student
wow,
hostel, then of course it's really
cheaper.
cheap for you, as low as 200 or 250 euros. And then if you stay in like shared apartments in the city, then you can be paying, I don't know, between again 350 to maybe 700. Depends on
Mm,
where you're living. So then there's also the insurance, which I think right now it's up to 120 euros per month if you are below 30. And then if you're above 30, then you take a private insurance, which is actually cheaper, but probably may not cover a lot. Um, what else again? I think those are like the fixed cost which you pay for. Um, in the accommodation, there are also things like electricity, internet, and then
those ones
the
varies.
utility bills. So those they also vary. But what I would say is, frankly speaking, there are some students that, yeah, 750, 800, they are really living decently, and even maybe still saving on top of that. Um, in any case, what I would just like to mention is, when you're coming to Germany, the question you have to ask yourself is, what is your main purpose of coming? And who are you? There are some people that, okay, they need to stay in a big city. Need in the sense that they have something they are doing there. They need opportunities in those big cities. The other people,
Berlin.
they don't have to be in big cities. So you need to ask yourself, what is important for you and where do you have to be? I always recommend smaller cities, or go to unis that are in small cities, you know, such that your expenses will really be on the low side. And then you're even closer to the locals. It helps you to integrate better. It could be difficult because, yes, there would be the language barrier and stuff, but this kind of forces you to learn the language to get integrated and all
Mm,
that, amongst all the challenges that would come. But then the advantage is, the cost of living is lower. You don't undergo a lot of stress when it comes to finding accommodation. And then chances are that, okay, the job opportunities also there could actually be good for you. Maybe not in that city, but maybe in a nearby city that you can go work and then come back to your location. But I always recommend starting from a small city and then finding your way to bigger cities if it's actually necessary for you.
this is wonderful. Very clear and precise answer. The next question here is, I think someone is even asking, but that's a coincidence that it's my next question. How
Okay.
flexible is students who might want to bring their families over?
Mm. So it's the options here are a bit limited, especially if you're coming as a student. So let's say you are a man, you want to come with your wife. Um, Now, Germany does not have that package that, okay, hey, I'm coming with my dependent, because you as a student, you're already by default a dependent. You're not working, right? So you are coming in with sufficient proof of funding for yourself. So if someone is going to come with you, you also have to show that there's sufficient proof of funding for that
For the
person.
person?
And
Mm,
also, what would that person be doing? So let's say you're a man and your wife wants to come with you. So you have to show proof of funding for yourself and then proof of funding for your wife. But it doesn't stop there. What will your wife be doing while you are studying? Will she
mm.
be studying also? Is she going to be working? I mean, she has to be
Doing something.
engaged in some way. So
Do they
uh,
require it from the? Do they require a statement on what she's going to be doing?
but these are things that are going to come up during the visa application process. So what will you be doing? What are you going to Germany for? You know. So what I recommend is this. Of course, if you're coming as a parent and you're having your kids, it's pretty straightforward. You just have to show that there is sufficient proof of funding for the kid. I think for people that are, yeah, under a certain age, there's usually the age difference and say, okay, how much you need for someone up to this age and someone up to that age. So
Okay.
as long as you're able to provide the necessary proof of funding for yourself and those people, then you will get the visa for all of them. Um, but what people can think about is this: as a husband who wants to come with a wife, as a wife who wants to come with a husband, what's the qualification of the husband? Maybe both of them could just simply apply as students and then come with a student visa. If they have a
Hmm.
kid, it's easier to just show the proof of funding that they have enough money to take care of
Wow,
that
this
kid, you know. And it's actually good because the kid also comes and then the kid gets into, the school and studies for free. The kid also does not have to pay,
pay for
but they just have to show that, okay, hey, they have enough money to
to feed
take
them.
care of,
Probably just
themselves.
to feed them.
Yeah. So it's not complicated. It's really straightforward. I'm coming, I show proof of funding for myself. I'm bringing my wife, I show for her. I'm bringing my kid, I show for them.
Wow, beautiful. Very, very nice. This is a very interesting question. In as much as we are encouraging everybody to apply for themselves, we still provide such service for people who are working class,
That's right.
who are very, very busy. You're very, very busy. Most definitely, you don't have the time, and you probably might have the funds, and you just need a trusted party to help you do the process. So I'm throwing this question to you, Mr. Michael. Why should someone choose to apply with us directly?
Mhm.
Mr.
Yeah.
Michael, what
I mean,
extra value do we do for them
yeah.
in
The,
securing admission for them?
yeah. The first thing is, we've done it many times. So we have much better success rates, and we're not experimenting anymore. And if someone is doing it for themselves, they're probably doing it for the first time or the second time, or who knows how many times. But one thing is clear: we've done it way more than they have done it, and we have way more success stories. And then also, we're located in Germany, so you can always call the school if something happens. Place a call to the school, ask them, clarify things. These are things that you will not be able to do if you're far away. And then there is also the consultation which you get upfront about the complete process, and also advice on what is the best uni for you to apply to, the best study program. And then what's even more important is it does not end, it doesn't finish when you study. What are you going to do with that study program? So what are your job prospects like in the future? So these are things that we pay attention to. That A, you're studying something which is related to your previous education, and which also has a link to your future prospect, the career perspective, what you want to do in the future. So we put all these things together because again, it's also what helps to sum up a nice motivational letter for you. So there's that one. And then, of course, there's that benefit that, yes, we guarantee the admission for you. Like, no matter what happens, you will definitely get
Get
an
an
admission,
admission.
at least one. You know, most times we get multiple admissions. The candidate has to select which one they want at the end of the day. So there's that guarantee that you get the admission. And then um, it also saves you a lot of time. You don't have to go through the stress of the process. We already have like the database of the uni, the courses, what it costs, and then it takes us way less time than it would take, the candidates to do.
Wow.
But above all, I think you want to get admission, so there's that guarantee. And when you do it yourself, um, chances are you might miss one or two things, or your time might not permit you. So if you just want to be sure that yes, this is 100% taken care of, then it's just helpful to say, okay, hey, let me outsource it to these guys for them to take care of it, and that's where we come in.
Thank you very much. Just to clarify, we are not visa agents. Don't
That's right.
mistake us. We are not giving you visa. We are not trying to do immigration things. What we are doing precisely is giving you admission, and we are encouraging you to do it yourself. We want you to do it yourself. We can give you um, just a second.
Hmm.
We are encouraging you to do it yourself. We can give you consultation and tips on how you can do it yourself, which we've shared some of them here. And for those that feel like they don't have the time or it's a bit complicated for them, those that have less confidence in their self, probably because of your GP, your CGP is not high enough, and you feel like you can't get admitted into a school abroad, German university, and you're welcome. So, just to clarify things, for those that are interested in our service, um, what like the time frame? If you are showing someone that we are going to give them admission, what's the time frame do we give to them? What time frame do
Yeah.
we assure that okay, you're going to get admission in this time frame?
Mm. So how it works is this. Um, we need the person to get in contact with us as early as possible. And the time frame we work with is also the deadline of the uni and also when they release the admission letters, so which varies. So how winter semesters, the application begins from middle of April up to sometime middle of May or early June. And the admissions begin to come out late July, beginning of August. So if you get in touch with us sometime in March or in April, so you can expect again in late July, early August, the admission letter will be out. So it's just the same as the university cycle. If you are going for the summer semester, applications usually open sometime late November, early December, and it goes on to mid January. So this is the application window. But to make sure that you get in touch with us as early as possible within this time frame, you can expect your admission sometime in February, March. So that's how it works. So it just works the same time frame as the uni. You know, we will release the admission letters, but as soon as we get it from the uni, you also get it then. So I think the time frame is between 3 to 4 months. That's what the people can just keep in mind. Um, at the end of the day, before we start, we will also tell you, we will know which semester, what's the timeline, and when you can expect it. But it's usually 3 to 4 months.
Clear. I think it's very, very clear. So let's round this up before we start taking questions.
For
Are
sure.
there any new programs or opportunity in Germany that people can keep an eye on apart from schooling?
Yeah,
Just a
yeah.
brief. Good.
Mm. So, like I
Just
mentioned
we're
before,
going to talk. We're going to talk about it in our next live, but just a brief. I just mentioned few opportunities apart from schooling.
for sure. So, in general, the idea here is Germany is looking for more and more qualified, skilled workers to join the labor force. So, they are making the means of getting to the country for people with the right qualification a lot easier. So, there is the job seeker visa, which you can apply for if you have the right requirements. So, what that means is you don't have a job yet, but you can come to Germany and stay up to 6 months to secure a job, and then stay in the country. Then there is also the opportunity card or the Chance-Karte, as it's called in German, which allows you also, when you meet certain points across the language, your qualification, your experience, and if you've been to Germany before, if you have a spouse. So it's like a point-based system in which there's a minimum point which you get, and then it allows you to also apply to get a visa to come to Germany. And the advantage here is it's not 6 months, but you can actually get up to 12 months, and there's a chance to even extend that stay um, to get a job in Germany or start a business in Germany. So these are two options. But then other options are also um, au pair. So what that means is you are below 25 years old, you can apply for this program and you join the family to take care of like a baby in the family. You're not like a nanny, you're just a support to that family. So the essence of this program is actually across
How
Europe.
do you call the program again?
Got our pair. So
How
AU, yeah, AU and then pair, PAIR. So it's a
okay.
program mostly for young people to help them get integrated and the cultural exchange while supporting the host family. So there's that one too. And the good thing is, it gives you long-term residence in Germany, which at the end of that, um, staying with that family, you can then study and stay in Germany. So I think these are like some three options which we can explore or talk about subsequently.
I encourage you've heard from him. I encourage everyone to make research on this and see for yourself and try to see if you can get opportunity from here. So we're going to be calling it a day, but we're going to be taking question and answer section. So, but just a minute for a call to action. For anyone watching right now, you can reach out to me. I'm going to be putting my WhatsApp group chat link on this video's description, so you can reach out after this live. If you are interested in securing an admission in Germany and you want us to help you out with it. Not everyone. If you are interested, the people that are busy, we have talked about how you can do it yourself, and I hope that you can do it. It's not really difficult. It's just we have a lot of way experience, and as you can see, we've done it for a lot of people. So we are hoping that with our experience, it's going to be much more easier. So, lastly, before we call it a wrap, any advice to someone who is about to start this journey, him or herself, like themselves? Any advice to
Yeah.
them?
I think my first advice is be a part of a community, really, because there is no, at the end of the day, you find out that you learn a lot from other people. So be a part of the community, get engaged, and stay focused. Be clear about your objective. What do you want exactly? And I also need them to understand that there are ample opportunities in Germany. And you don't need to have money you know. I mean, maybe money for basic stuff, application fees here and there, but let's even push that aside. There are hundreds of scholarship opportunities, which again we're going to make available to you. So um, just be clear with yourself. What do you want, and how committed are you? I believe if Samson and I are spending this time on this call, which no one is paying us to give out this information, that means we genuinely want to help you. We genuinely want to see that you succeed. The question is, how badly do you want it? So it's actually more about you than us. So ask yourself this question. When you have the answers, you have to be committed, be a part of the community, be engaged, and every opportunity that we share out, make sure if it relates to you, then go deep into it and ask questions. So again, the main thing is, what do you want, and be committed to that. I think all the help that you need, you will get it as long as you know what you want.
Yeah, thank you very, very much, Michael. I really appreciate. As you can hear, join a community. We have a community, and I'm going to be posting the link of our WhatsApp group so you can join the remaining almost 1,000 people on that WhatsApp group. So you can hear what they are saying, get ideas, and if you want to get in touch with me, you can also get in touch with me through that WhatsApp group as an official admin. So, questions and answer, please throw in your questions and we are going to be answering them. The question will be going for like 20-15 minutes, and let's see questions. And okay, let me see. Let's check this.
Okay.
Izikena Okuna, sorry if I get it wrong. Please
Yeah.
talk about requirement for HND to masters.
Okay. So it's really simple. Again, it can the question is, what do you want to I cannot like tell you right now the uni per se, but it's just for you to understand how it works. So you have an HND, right, and you want to go for a master's study program. There are selected universities in Germany that would accept your HND or master's study program, but the study courses are actually limited. So if you want to study something within that area, then yes, it's possible. But to a large extent, HND is usually accepted for a bachelor's degree in Germany. In other parts of Europe, they are more flexible. For example, in Italy, HND 100% you can study for, you can go for a master's with HND, in many other parts of Europe. But in Germany, by default, bachelor's degree, and then some selected unis, um, master's study program. What we can do is this: you can get in touch with us later, and then we know exactly HND in what you have, and then what you want to go for at the master's level, and we could share the list of those units with you.
I hope it was very, very clear. Ikenna, please ask a question if you're going to be asking. I'm planning to, okay. When, okay, this is Rick. I'm planning to study masters in business. Is it easy to find a job?
Yeah,
If it's
you
going to
tell me, is it easy to
trade
find a job anywhere?
other people,
Uh, is it what does it mean? Is it easy to find a job? So you sleep, you wake up, and then you have a job, or you send a shitty application and then you get a job, or you don't prepare for the interview and you get a job. So there's nothing as easy to find a job. Are there opportunities for someone with a master's in business? Yes. Are the companies looking for international students, international talent with a degree in business? Yes. Are you going to get a job? Yes. Would it be easy? I can't tell you because I don't know what it means to be easy. What I know is someone is going to hire you for you to, solve a problem for them in their company. And what that means is you have above everything the motivation to work. So in Germany, motivation is at the highest level. It comes even before your qualification and experience. Because if you're not motivated, regardless of your experience, your qualification, you cannot be productive. So, Rick, your focus should be on having that master's degree. And if you recall, as we mentioned, getting integrated during that process and not just stay within your, just people that you know normally and not integrate, with the system. And then you finish your master's studies and you have no idea how it works in securing a job, you know. Um, I believe subsequently we will also be, having sessions about how to get a job in Germany as a foreigner or as an international student and stuff that you need to know. But to answer your question, I can tell you that 100% you, your qualification, your skills, your experience are needed in Germany. But you have to be motivated. Is it going to be easy? No. What does it mean to be easy? There are other people like you know, applying for the same position. So it shouldn't be easy. You have to be different from those people, and that's how you get the job. But are there opportunities? Yes, there are.
the truth is bitter, but that's it. Jobs in this age or current time, it's not easy for anybody. You have to be different, as you said. Almost fair.
So,
Now,
Mustafa,
please, I need
me,
information on Germany. I don't know what he was trying to.
yeah, Ausbildung
German
vocational training. Yeah. Okay,
and the
so Um, Ausbildung vocational training. So this is a very good question. Right, I think I actually missed mentioning this as the other options to come to Germany besides studying. So what you need here is primarily is the language. So right now you need a B2 German language proficiency. I know and I've heard that people say you can do it with the B1, but at the end of the day, neither the employer nor the training institute will accept you, or there are really very few of them. So the first and foremost thing that you need is a B2 German language proficiency. So that's the first thing. Once you have that, you don't need a proof of fund. Why? Because Ausbildung is a dual training program. You're working and you're also studying or undergoing training. you get paid actually, you know.
Mm.
So
Wow. You get
yes,
paid.
you get paid. So what you need when you have that B2 German language qualification, which we can talk about later, is securing a job offer from an employer, and then also getting the admission from a training institute. So these are things also that we can actually do for you as a candidate or as an individual. But the first step before we even lift a finger is that you have a B2 German language qualification. Once you have these, then other things can be taken care of. Securing the work contract from the potential employer and then the training institute. And both of them usually go hand in hand. So, yeah, good question. You don't need proof of fund.
Wow. This is wonderful. You even don't need proof of fund for this vocational school
Because
because you work
you're coming to work, right? So you get paid, and that's already your proof of funding.
on proof of funding. Are there workaround for sponsorship letters and
Uh, I doubt because how it works is this. Let's say some a candidate contacts me and wants me to get them that sponsorship letter, and I live in Berlin. I'll go to the corresponding office in Berlin. I will call or email them, and now they're going to ask me for some documents, which includes my payment slip. How much am I earning at work? And then what's the current status of my job? Am I within the probationary period, or I have finished the probationary period? Or am I a business owner? Just to have an understanding of my earnings, my financial security. So once I meet all the requirements, then they will just provide me with the letter. I sign it. Again, it's a declaration of commitment. It's called in German Verpflichtungserklärung. It's a
some
declaration of commitment. So there is no way around it. You meet the requirement, it's issued to you, and that's what I, for example, will send to the candidates, or whoever is the sponsor sends to the candidate, and that's what they applied, their visa with.
I heard some people are actually selling it. How true is that? Like
So I mean, if people are doing it that, then that would not be right for sure, because um, again, you cannot buy it. You have to apply for it, and then you get it. So maybe what's happening is people issue it to people that they don't know, and then they charge them
they
whatever.
don't know.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be that way. So it should be some because again, you're declaring to be committed to somebody. If they get into trouble, if they owe some money or whatever happens to them, it will come back
It's
to
gonna
you.
affect it.
Yeah. So whoever is doing whatever, they have to pay attention to that.
Okay. Someone is asking about single mom. Watching from Badagry, Lagos. Kindly advise on relocating to Germany as a single mom. Should that
Well,
be a problem?
yeah, I no one cares if you're a single mom or a double mom or you're married. The thing is, how do you want to come to Germany, right? Except you're talking about special programs for single moms, it's a completely different story. But how you're going to relocate would depend on your qualification, your experience, and how you want to come. How many kids do you have? One, two, three. How old are those kids? So these are the questions that, yeah, you need to answer. But by default, if you're coming as a student, I'm not sure there are any special consideration for you as a single mom. What could happen is some scholarship opportunities which are, specially for single moms, and then you can get that scholarship as a proof of funding. Um, but I'm not sure there's any category for the student visa for single mom, for example. You know, so maybe we need more details to understand um, how to answer.
Okay, thank you. This is Wasil. How much should I keep if I want you to help me? How much would you keep that for everything? Okay, I think I can answer this.
Mm.
Um, I'm going to be putting my WhatsApp link to my group chat. From there, you can be able to contact me. It's going to be on the description under this video. Once this video is over, So you can find me and contact me, and we can talk about how you can actually, if you intend to allow us do it for you. So that's fine. Let me see if there's still on any other question. Um,
And yeah, maybe just to add to that, was you. So again, it always depends on you, what you want to study, your experience, qualification, and all that. So one would need more information from you then to help you with an estimate of what the cost would be like, you know.
okay, this is Living Springs. If we are coming on a language visa, do we need 10K for block account?
Yes, so it
Like,
depends on the duration of your study, right? So if you're coming for a language course, how long is it? 6 months, 1 year? So you need to provide blocked account for the corresponding. Yeah, you need to provide funding or show proof of fund for the corresponding duration. You know, again, blocked account is one option. There are other options. Blocked account is not the only proof of fund option. But if you're asking specifically about blocked account, yes, you always have to show a proof of fund, and blocked account is one of them. And you show for always a minimum of 1 year. But if your language course is for 6 months, then you don't have to show for 1 year because you won't be in Germany for 1 year.
okay, I think that answer your question, Living Spring. Um, Another question from Esther: are there
Yes,
opportunities in
opportunities
fashion
in fashion design. Of course,
design?
there are opportunities in fashion design in every part of the world.
Can you
So
recommend her any vocational school that can help? Is it
yes, definitely, definitely. That's a good one. So the Ausbildung program that the other guy mentioned before would be like a perfect program for you for fashion designing. Now the requirement there now is that you need to have up to B2 German language proficiency. So
mm,
I know it's challenging. I'm not sure if you started learning German, but if this is a dream for you, then you have to understand that no dream comes easy and you have to work towards it. So the biggest challenge here for you now would be to learn German up to the B2 level, which I believe that if you're committed to achieving this dream, then it shouldn't be any problem for you at all. I mean, imagine what you're saying is you have a B2 German language, then your dream to become an international fashion designer is going to happen. That's literally what is happening here right now.
yeah.
B2 German language, that's all you need to secure that Ausbildung placement. And you are going to both learn and then establish yourself as a fashion designer in Germany.
You don't need a proof of fund.
You don't need a proof of fund. And I think for someone like you, I'm not, she's the one from Badagry, right?
Yeah, she's the one from Badagry.
And someone like you coming from Nigeria, I can tell you that there are not many people with your skill sets in Germany. So you're coming with, really special taste or, or style or perspective into the
Hmm.
fashion space. So it's huge, and I really would encourage you to pursue it.
Our chances are high.
100%. Yeah.
Wow. So, Esther, I hope you're listening and it answers your question even more elaboratedly. About from let me ask question about the language B2 visa, language B2. How easy is it for anyone to get it? Which platform can they learn it? Is
Mm,
it on Duolingo? Where can they acquire that certificate for a
that's
B2?
good. That's a good one. So I'm gonna share with you um, links. Actually, if you want, I could actually do that now. VHS Plan Portal.
You can put it in the comments, right?
I put in the comment now, and then uh, the DB Deutsch Lernen. So I always encourage first learning on your own, and then before you enroll into a language school or whatever to pay money, because when you learn on your own, you have you learn at your own pace, and then you have some time to really understands the basics, the grammar, and all that. So this VHS Learn portal is by the German government. It is 100% free, and you can
To
learn
learn
from,
it?
yes, you can learn from A1 to B2 there, and I highly recommend it. Why? Because it is done. It is from the German government, and it's the purpose is of course to encourage integration into the system. So um, I do recommend it over all these other paid apps that are all over there. Then there's the second one, Learn German, which with Deutsche Welle. So this also
Okay.
is another free place. You can even learn up to C, up to the C level. So it's crazy and it's 100% free. I do encourage that.
Even with
Um,
the exams?
no, so you won't take exams here, but the good thing here is you will practice up to the necessary level, and then you can um, enroll into a school or go take the exam. But definitely, learning with these free platforms will help you gain the fundamentals, understand a lot of things. So when you enroll into classes, it becomes a lot easier and smooth for you. So
Thank you very, very
please
much.
forget all those paid apps. They are just bullshit, in my opinion, because A, those apps are not native apps. You can learn a million language there. It could not be original, you know.
Hmm.
So, and then secondly, you pay for stuff and it's you don't really get the theme from like how it's supposed to be from the native speakers.
Native speakers.
So that land portal, for sure, it's coming from the German government. It's I think it's a good resource to use. And then that's Learn German by Deutsche Welle, which is also a German organization. It's also another useful source to go. So um, those definitely are, in my opinion, the resources to use.
Michael, just one question, a quick one. I'm so sorry
Okay.
for keeping your time. This question just came from Michael. How can I apply for Jama University? Just be straight, and so we can round up immediately.
Yeah. So how you can apply? Um, there are broadly two ways. Some unis you can apply to them directly. You apply to them directly. You send all the documents and all. And then other unis you apply to them through a third party. For example, Uni Assist. So you can go to Uni Assist, so uni-assist.de, and there you see all the list of universities and then information about studying in Germany and so on. And you can apply to the unis there. Alternatively, you can also apply to the unit directly if they don't work with the third party. So you have these two options, and people can explore both of them.
Beautiful. Thank you very, very much, Michael. I'm sorry for delaying our time. There's a whole lot of
No, no
questions. And
worry. I understand. It's like to continue from now. It's going to keep coming, and I mean, let's do this again. We plan the next time. We get the people ready. They come with their questions. Maybe we can start with the question and answer from the
answer
beginning.
straight up. I
Yeah,
think that's the next thing we're going to do, questions and answer.
yeah,
Thank you very
sure.
much. I'm really grateful. Spending time with you was great, and thank you for the insight. It's really
No
great.
problem.
People are going to watch this video 10 years to come. It's a great video. Thank you very much, and hope to see you
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah, thank you too. I really enjoyed it, and I also appreciate the engagement from the people. So, guys, just keep pushing whatever you want to do. There are hundreds of opportunities for you. Just stay in touch, stay within the community, ask questions, get engaged, and before you know it, maybe soon we'll get a chance to meet each other personally. Drink a beer or something.
And congratulations on your delivery. Most of them were wishing you
Yes,
on the group chat also. Like we
exactly. Now
saw.
I have to go answer to the boss.
All right. See you. Thank you
Okay,
very
then.
much. Have a
Everyone,
wonderful
have a nice weekend.
bye.
Okay.